You're a midlife woman, and despite your very best efforts, despite how successful you've landed in a space and you think, is there more? And furthermore, you're a little nervous, you're starting to slide into that space of what we might consider a midlife crisis. You've checked the boxes, you've done the things, and you have all of the things that you thought you wanted, and somehow something still feels like it's missing. And if this is you, then hi, my name is Jen. I'm the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness. I'm a transformational midlife revolution coach. And what I do is support women just like you and just like me. When I was 40, I was going through a really, really hard time, this pivotal place in my career and in my life that I felt like something was completely missing, even though I had checked every single box. And so what I did was I really defined a space to support women so that they can gain clarity and they don't have to go through the same amount of effort and painstaking energy that it took me to unravel where I was and where I wanted to go. And so I've developed a system where I walk you through 5 different steps of a process to help you arrive in the space that you want to be, to recreate and revolutionize an experience of midlife on your terms. Getting clarity around things like your purpose, how the layers of midlife might be landing for you, and supporting you to really fully stand in your power once again. So if you have a rebellious nature, then you have definitely landed in the right space with me. So today what we're going to talk about is unlocking all of the wisdom that you've got in midlife. So this is a really powerful space. And so I love directing energy towards times where we might be in a season where it's perfectly appropriate and actually the energy is sort of supporting us. So spring is a really wonderful time that we can do that. We can do it in every season change. And so what I want to kind of think about is almost in spring, like everything gets unfrozen and it unlocks itself back into life again, correct? We can do the same thing in midlife. Midlife is so important to do this and give yourself a real chance to sit with what you've gleaned, to honor and actually celebrate the wisdom that you kind of brought into your life, right? One way or shape or form. Maybe it was something you chose, maybe it was something that happened for you. But either way, you're really kind of embracing that. And you're taking that, you're turning that into something really useful. So I have just kind of defined unlock as this, and it's a mouthful, so I'm going to look. Uncovering your midlife, natural striving, right? You're naturally striving for legacy, opportunity, clarity, and knowledge. That's a lot. Today, we're going to talk about clarity. One of my very favorites. Everything self-awareness is really kind of my favorite because every single thing foundationally builds from a space of self-awareness. Everything. So today we're going to talk about 2 points. I'm going to make 2 points for you and going to give you a couple of exercises you can try out and see if they support this journey for you a little bit in a different way than maybe you've already approached it. But so first we're going to talk about unlocking your self-awareness, and I want you to maybe close your eyes for just a couple of minutes. We won't be here a long time, but I want you to kind of close your eyes and drop in for just a minute. Find your breath. Take a nice tall spine if you can. Allow your breath and energy to flow a little bit more easily. And I want you to really just imagine the layers of your life. For a moment, just kind of pausing as you breathe here to envision that you're a multi-layered being, right? So if it was like concentric circles and you're made up of physical body, you're made up of thoughts and emotions, you're made up of beautiful intuition and wisdom and heart space and soul. And you're made up of so much more. There's so much that goes into that, right? Not only are you made up of all of those layers, then you're living in the various layers of life. Things like relationships, connection, intimacy, purpose, spirituality, whatever that looks like for you, learning and growth. Right? So there's so many places and experiences we're having that we're constantly in this state of layered experience and growth. And so I invite you to just imagine for a moment, right? Opening up this big expansive idea of self-awareness. Maybe you imagine that the crown of your head is wide open, that there's a beautiful space and light is pouring in. And what that light is doing is illuminating every single thing about you that makes you who you are. That's so important to the journey that you're having here. To creating meaning, to deepening relationships and connection, and really to create legacy, whatever it is that you want to leave here. And so just imagine that for a moment. And imagine, if you could, it's almost like having a flashlight. And for just a moment, you're going to take and just kind of direct that flashlight on certain areas of your life. And just noticing what happens to your breath, to your body, to your thoughts, the images that come through, as I ask you just a few questions. What is it that you most value in life at this time? How would you like to create legacy, impact in the world? How are you feeling about the level of intimacy and connection you have in your life? Are there certain challenges that are showing up for you over and over again, patterns that you're noticing? And what I want you to imagine right now is that I'm actually handing you a key. And that key is the very thing that can go in and unlock the answers to all these questions. And if you didn't have them right now, I want you to stay at peace. Because some of the first layers of self-awareness come just by asking the questions. And then slowing down enough to be able to really listen to the answers. So they might come now and they might come later. But just opening yourself up to receiving those answers, receiving that key that I'm handing you, trusting innately in yourself, your wisdom, your experience, and knowing absolutely that the answer is riding around with you all the time. Trusting that you know. And I invite you to take a couple of really big, deep, beautiful breaths, inhaling into the belly, the ribs, and the chest, and then audibly exhale. One more. So good for us. Inhaling into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest. Big, full belly breath, and audibly exhale it out. And then slowly coming back in, joining me, coming back to hang out for a minute. And what I want you to do is just notice that if those questions were coming at you and you wanted more time to sit with them, to go back and spend time. So you may want to save this video, come back to it later. But I want you to just kind of sit with what you just went through, right? So it's kind of like unlocking things just means like asking the questions, beginning to lean in, beginning to get curious. You have lived enough life at this point to really have some deep, hard-earned wisdom, and clarity comes from listening to that. Clarity comes from listening to yourself and trusting yourself. So taking that, now we want to build on it. One next step. Now I want you to sit down and write out a mission statement. Thinking about for a minute, what do you stand for? What are your values that we just talked about? What do you stand for in this lifetime? I'm a rebel. I'm a revolutionary. I'm all about showing up in the world and creating a different way of having an experience in some way, shape, or form, whether it's with purpose, midlife, whatever it is. Like, I'm here to shake things up. That's one of the things that I love doing. And so I might have that as part of my mission statement, right? I actually do have that as part of my mission statement, probably differently worded, but that is part of my mission here. And then I want you to think about the vision you have that supports you being able to do that thing, whatever that is. Just imagining for a moment, what does that vision look like? Really fleshing that out is a really powerful tool from time to time to sit down and revision where you want to go and how you want to do it. And I think in midlife, that's really what we're getting at. Is it isn't that it's about the doing, which it is. Obviously, we want to get to the space of being able to do, but I think it's the how. Many of us have come to this place in midlife having learned so many things by conditioning, by experience, by family, by culture, whatever it might be. And now we're unlearning, which to me is one of the most fun things ever because it creates an opportunity to recreate something that actually fits better for who you are and where you are and what you want to do. And so I want you to do that little short visualization. Then I want you to tap in and sit and do a little bit of a vision statement, like a mission statement. And then what I want you to do is save it. And from time to time, go back and look at that. Does that feel congruent to where you want to go and what you want to do? So if any of this was challenging, you're like, Jen, I really want to be able to do this, but this was tough for me, then I want to invite you to do a midlife revolution rescue call with me. What that means is we're going to sit down and we're going to start to take a look at the layers, right? We're going to start to tap into this awareness about where your life has been, where you want to go, and maybe what that distance is. Like, what do we need to do in that center space to build a bridge for you to get to where you want to go that you have a vision for, and you're just not quite sure how to exactly get that all to come together? That is what I love to do in that revolutionary rescue call, where we just sit down and we start talking about this. Not going to hard sell you anything. We're just going to talk. We're going to visit. We're going to figure out where you are, where you want to go, and how we might help you get there. And so one way or the other, you walk away with some insight and awareness that you didn't have when you came in. And that's kind of the commitment that I make to all of my calls, that people that decide to kind of hop in and share some time with me, at least you're going to walk away with a different lens about something and a different idea about how you might approach it. So I am so grateful to spend this time with you. I want to thank you so much for hanging tight with me and just let you know that I'm here supporting that rise in your midlife to revolutionize the experience that you have here. That's one that you get to decide for yourself what that looks like so that you can create the legacy and impact that you want to leave in the world. So until next time, my friends, I am sending you blessings, love, and light. This is Janet. We will see you next time with a little chat about the next piece of how to unlock your journey.